This will be a quick tutorial on how to request a reservation for an outdoor space through Mazévo. From your My Apps page, you'll select the icon for Mazévo. If you're not a part of the university, you'll need to request an account using a different link. Both processes are similar once logged in, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll be creating a reservation as someone who is with the university. When you log in, you'll be brought to this page to select the tenant. As you can see, I have access to the Outdoor Reservations tenant, as well as the Arkansas Union's tenant, along with a couple of trial tenants which won't appear on your selection screen. Any university department using Mazévo to process reservations will show up here. I'm going to select the Outdoor Reservations tenant. As a quick tip, from this homepage you can easily switch between tenants if you're wanting to make a reservation in both, or if you accidentally selected the wrong one on login, by going to the top and clicking here. But since we're in the right place, I'll go ahead and start by clicking Add New Request. I'm going to call my event Cool Summer Nights Carnival because a hot summer's day carnival sounds like a terrible idea. And for event type, it'll be a carnival style event, and I don't expect more than 100 people. Now for organization, if this is your first time accessing our tenant, your only option will be New User. You will need to provide us with your RSO or department before your event is approved, which you can do by email or through the messaging system in Mazévo. After you've given us what organization you're affiliated with, the New User option will be removed from your account and it will be replaced by your RSO or department name. Now moving on to where it says Workday Work Tag. You'll need a working work tag number, and if you're an RSO, you must be in good or active standing. For now, I'll just type one in and click Next. Now for my event, I'm going to go from 4 p.m. and have a hard stop at, say, 7 because my bedtime's at 8. And we're going to make this for Friday. Now you can select multiple dates if you like as well, but for this event, I'm just going to keep it to one day. Now we get to our building selections, most of which I guess aren't actual buildings in this case. A couple of things to point out. If you don't see your location listed, you can click Reservations right here and several other locations will populate. But for the sake of this example, we're headed to the Union Mall. Click Find Rooms, and you can now select from any one of these options. Now the Union Mall, along with several other locations, are partitioned into smaller sections that are reservable for something like a tabling. If you want to allow, say, another group to set up their own tabling at the same time as yours and share the space, you would just select one of these. Now, if you have something that's bigger than a tabling event, or you wish to reserve the entire Union Mall, which I do for the sake of this example, I'm going to select Union Mall All plus Grass, which is referring to those large grass patches in the Union Mall. Another quick tip, if you click on the room, you'll be able to see details about the space and also some images and infographics you can open in another window. Now, once you hit Next, you might come to the Services page. Not every location offers services, so you may not see this when requesting a different space. For my event though, I do need access to the utilities in the Union Mall, so I'm going to select it and click Next. And what I'll need is access to one of the electric pedestals for our DJ. So I'm going to select that and add a note here saying need access to electric pedestal for DJ. And now we arrive at the final step of the request, which is the reservation form. Most of this is pretty straightforward, but there are a few things worth mentioning, so I'm going to quickly go through it. Who is my audience? Mainly university members. Will I be using amplified sound? Yes, I agree to follow the university's policy on noise, which, if you thought to yourself, I have no idea what the university's policy on noise is, this link right here will lead you directly to the policy. Any question that has a link attached to it will either lead to a page with the information on it, or will lead directly to the document or form being referenced within the question. Best practice here is to always click the links. Next question is asking for the details of my event. I'll keep it short for this example, but try and be as detailed as possible to help facilitate the overall processing. So I'm going to have a DJ coming, and I think I'll have a bouncy house and maybe a food truck. Moving on to the next question, will your event include any large equipment such as inflatables, rides, dunk tank, etc.? If the answer is yes, then you'll need to provide a layout of your event. A second question will pop up asking if you've obtained the appropriate insurance and waiver forms. and maybe you're wondering about the insurance and waiver forms. You again might notice the link here. This leads to the Outdoor Reservations website, where down at the bottom of the page are some tabs with great resources such as this one. Example of Certificate of Liability Insurance. So once I have that information and know that I need to contact the supplier for it, I'm going to come back to the form and continue on. If your event has over 500 expected attendees, my event does not. Flammable equipment, no. Animals, no. Vendors, let's say DJ Dude and Wild Inflatables. Will I need vehicle access? If the answer is yes, which for my example it is for the food truck, the permit form will be linked here. But for anything referencing a different department, like here it's referencing transit and parking, you'll also need to contact them. Food, yes. Food vendors, let's say Awesome Foods food truck. Will we have any homemade food? No, but if we did, it'll ask if we've read and acknowledged the EH&S food safety guidelines, which is also linked. Fundraiser, no. Merchandise, no. Admissions, yes, but it's free of charge. Is an outside organization or group funding, co-organizing, or hosting? No, my department will be the one funding and organizing everything for this event. Is your staff or faculty advisor fully aware of all event plans and details? If you're a student group requesting a space, it is important that your staff or faculty advisor is always fully aware of your event details and that they're in full support of each of your events. Next, it'll ask if you'd like to upload a document, and this would be for things like the layout of your event, a key or permit request form, things like that. Only one attachment is allowed, so if you have multiple files you want to upload, you'll want to consolidate them into a single file. Or you can email us any remaining documents that you weren't able to upload at the time of your submission. And finally, we have some terms and conditions that you'll want to make sure you read. And that's it. Now remember, if you still need to submit something, then don't put it off until just before your event. It does take time to process and review these, so give yourself some buffer. You can also monitor the status of your events by going to My Events from the homepage. And that's it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help.